Hello, hello, hello. Let's see if we can get everything to work. Just double check in to see here. Hello! How is everyone today? I hope you're having a great day. I just felt like, popping in here and hang out a little bit for whoever wants to hang out because today is one of them days that I had the opportunity. Kids went to bed early and I just felt like hanging out. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here and hang out and crochet. And whoever is here, I hope you're having a great day and, just chillax with me. Hello, Steel. It's been a while. How are you today? Afternoon. Is it afternoon for you? It is 10:40 p.m. So, yeah, I'm having a kind of relaxed evening for once, I'd say. Not every Saturday evening is this chill. So, yeah. What have you been up to? Are you crocheting away or are you busy doing other things today? I am working on kind of an infinity scarf, but it's bigger than an infinity. Like, it's not just to be around my neck. I'm thinking like down over my arms kind of thing. Let's see if I can hold it up so you can get a little bit of a glimpse into what it's going to look like. So it is crossing on one side and then solid on the other. So it's one part that's across. So it's kind of like a bow in the front. And I did recently make a haul video with this yarn, but I didn't know what to do with the yarn. So I have these two colors left. Well, that's the one I'm working on, and that's going to be added to it as the last color. The first color has a little bit of cutesy, fun colors in it. They're kind of hidden away in there. Just going to check and see. Do we have Mr. Nightbot here? Because if he is here, he can tell us a joke. Thank you, Steel. Mystical. Hello and welcome. I don't recognize your name. Have we crossed paths elsewhere? You're crocheting granny squares. Well, using up cotton yarns is usually a good thing to do squares out of. Yeah, and scraps. I am the scraptastic crocheter. There's scraps in my storage, yes. Not as much as it was before. I did have a lot of scraps in the past. I did get a lot of leftovers from other people because when I started crocheting, I couldn't really, afford buying my own yarn, and I had people around me that was graciously enough, gifting their old scraps to me. So I made some really pretty projects out of that. I think I have one hidden. Is it underneath here? I don't know. Where did I put it? Yes, I do have a scrappy blanket hidden on my chair. I don't even know what's left on right on this. There's acrylics, there's wools, there's cottons, there's colors. That's what I started out with. This is one of my first bigger projects. It's like a baby blanket size with scraps. And I wouldn't dare to wash this because probably stuff that's going to shrink, probably stuff that's going to bleed. Yeah, it's just going to hide underneath here for a while. Nightbot did tell us a joke. Toasters were the first form of pop-up notifications. Well, I'm doing a pop-up stream, so that's a very fitting joke, I'd say. Well, you're new here. Yeah, welcome. I'm happy to have you here, and hopefully you'll find something interesting here. I have plenty of videos as well if you want to do something when I'm not here. Steel is making dishcloths out of your cotton. That sounds like a big tote worth of cottons, 27 gallons. I cannot imagine how big that is. Big, but it sounds big. That gallons is not a measurement that we normally use in Europe. So I think that's a very US thing. Thank you. Well, I do have some stuff that might look fancy to some, I've been told. Yes. So this is basically just acrylic yarns that I got very recently. I think it's the most recent. Is it the most recent of my haul videos posted? I have more haul videos coming, but is it the most recently one? No, it's not. This is, yeah, I talked about this yarn in a previous haul. 102 liters. Yeah, that's that's a couple of milk boxes. Wow. And that's just the cottons. I'm guessing there might be more than just cottons. Yeah. Well, this yarn, back to it, we have recycled acrylic. So that's why there's, inconsistencies, or maybe not inconsistencies, but the colors are like ish tweedy with, stuff going on. We got the very colorful light gray with all these pops of color, but there's also pops of color in the other ones. I'm not sure it's going to be, really good picked up on my camera here because maybe not the best quality to see all the color changes, because it's very, they're very like not so very obvious, but they're definitely more obvious in this gray, where there's even, yellows and greens and blues and pinks in there. But there's stuff going on in these yarns. But I figured like I had to try it because, one, I had not tried this yarn before. I had bought the yarn before, but I never used it. I gifted it to someone. And there was new colors. To me, the colors are kind of dull, but I figured maybe I can make something a little bit different to what I normally make. And I did get one comment that it looked classy. And it kind of made me feel like, am I not classy because this is not the colors I normally go for? I don't know. Mystical. Hey, another Swede. That's awesome. Yeah, okay. So you're not just the only Swede in the house. I'm in Sweden. Yes. So you got the cottons in the bins, and then you got the acrylics and blends on the shelves. Well, as long as you know where you have all your stuff, that's all good. I currently have most of my yarns hanging out in these plastic totes. And there's 4 high here, and then there's another 4 high there. There's some in this pink basket, and I have another pink basket like that underneath my table. I have a couple of bags all over the place. Over here, hidden, is more yarn. But this is temporary, because this is temporary as in I'm moving my whole office downstairs. Hopefully shortly, because downstairs is being painted as we speak. Yes. Yeah, so Mystical, this yarn is from Rusta. If you are, if you want to check the same stuff out, you can actually get it for once, there's someone that could get the yarns I'm working with without, you know, too much of a trouble, I take it. But yeah, most of the yarn I do have is from hobby. I do, venture out and try some other stuff of like, once in a while, but I say most of my stuff is hobby yarn. Hello, Molly. Welcome. How are you today? You just subbed. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm actually really I've been stuck on 650, which is a really nice number of subscribers for a few days now. It's just been 650. It's even a nice and pretty to look at, but I would like to, venture up a little bit higher. Um, so yeah, I'm slowly getting there. Yeah, like the yarn at Rusta is actually pretty decent. I'd say this is like for being a recycled acrylic, or was it recycled polyester acrylic, you know, it's pretty okay. It's definitely not the softest acrylic I've ever had, but it's definitely something I could, wear without having it's not itchy, it's not scratchy. Some of the recycled yarns I've had like uh, plastic strings in it. I'm not feeling that in this yarn, so far so good. Using a 5 millimeter crochet hook, and most of it is half double crochets. I did, since it is an infinity, uh, I'm working on both sides, so it's just one continuous loop. But I did 4 rows, and I thought I did 5, but I did 4 rows from the beginning, and then I did double crochets and chain 1, just for a little something something. So when I got to the next round, I did 5 because I thought I did 5 in the beginning. So I have done 5 rows of the half doubles, and then the doubles and the chains, and then 5. So I'm just continuing with the 5 because this part here is big as it is, since it's, from both sides. So I figured it's not gonna be weird that it's because it's basically 8 rows here and then 5. And I'm using the yarn to, like, when it's out, that's when I'm changing the color. I'm not switching earlier or anything. I'm just continuing until I run out of one ball, and then I go for the next. I do have some of the other yarns that I got from my last Rusta haul. That was actually the reason I ended up in the yarn aisle at Rusta, and I have them next to me. These are much softer, the Holly, but this is not recycled, I think. No, this is not recycled, but this is the color. That's why I went in there. I I just I'd been eyeing this color for so long because I have used holly very many times. I've made a big bedspread for my son in red, black, and white, and I've used it to make blankets, and it's just like this is the new color for this season, and I just love it. It's like this gorgeous purple color. So I had to get that, and I got this one to go with it. But this is a lot softer than the one I'm using now. But I guess, like, recycled, you can't have the same expectations softness wise than with a new yarn. I do play Hobby Bingo, and I know that this Thursday was the technical difficulties, so we didn't get to play, which sucks. But the previous week, when there was like this big summer Hobby Bingo one, I kind of ended up putting an order in. And just before I sat down now to, hang out with you guys, I did record a little bit of a haul. I can give you a sneak peek of what's in. Yeah, well, in Sweden, we get to play on Thursdays. And we do have a Swedish bingo host. Well, we do actually have two. We have Kristina and Sende, which is really nice because I like them. But yeah, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of that haul that I just did because can you see the sparkles in this? Can you see it? It's sparkly. see sparkles. I know the lighting is not really good. I know I did get a little bit more sparkle with the setup I had with my cameras and stuff before. And I used a way better camera than I'm using when I do my live streams, but it sparkles. So yeah, this is one of the stuff. And the rest you'll just have to wait for to hang out with that haul whenever that one gets up and finished editing and all that, because yeah, I recorded it. That's how far I got with that so far. Uh, yeah. Yeah, this was the first time they had technical difficulties, which sucked, but you know, we have to understand that technical stuff does happen. There's been other things that has happened for them in the past with power outages and whatnot, and they can't control it. So it's too bad when it happens, but it's, eventually something will happen. Like, it's not going to be all good every single time, always. There's always going to be something. I was hanging out with a few of my fellow YouTube friends. Was it a few days ago? And my power here went out. Well, actually, it's been twice. I was hanging out with some of my fellow builders, or like crafters and builders. They do Legos and models and stuff. Um, and I had lightning struck, and my power went out for hours when we had a big storm a few weeks ago. And then I had a little bit of an even weirder accident, kinda, because my other half didn't know that I was hanging out on someone's live stream in the panel. And he decided to, well, continue with the renovation work, but he also decided to, well, let's turn off the power in the whole house so he can fiddle with the power socket. He could have given me a heads up. But I got kicked out. It happened. Hopefully it's not going to happen tonight. Tonight he's painting. So, um I should be okay. I don't think he's going to fiddle with the main power because he does know I am live tonight. I figured like he's going to be downstairs and I'm going to have the office nice and quietly for myself. So, yeah. Um he can just do his stuff downstairs, because normally he would sit next to me here and talk to his friends and play games. And that is probably not the best thing to have as a background noise if I sit here and hang out with you guys. So I took the opportunity. Kid's sleeping, he's painting. Why not? I haven't been crocheting very much today. I mowed the lawn. I went weed whacking. Um, yeah, garden work. That's what I did. So I figured I'm allowed to sit here and crochet tonight and hang out with some friends and make some new ones. That's even better. Especially when I can find friends that's close around. So what are you guys doing? What are you working on? What's your thing tonight? Well, it's probably not night for all of you, but me and Mystical at least has a little of a night thing. Oh, and I'm just gonna say it so no one thinks anything of it. I'm just being bougie. This is non-alcoholic. It is a black currant cider, but it's, just pink bubbly in a wine glass, no alcohol. I'm just bougie like that. Being a little extra. I can do that on a Saturday. Or any day, really, at all. Like, I like the wine glasses because it's cute. It looks nice to hold a wine glass. When you have a little something, my nails are long and cute. So I'm just living with it. It's just cute. And I very, very rarely have something of like alcoholic. It's not really my thing. I do occasionally, but more often than not. Ooh, more people. Hello, Nisi. How are you? Nice to see you. Oh, thank you. That is nice of you. Molly is in Texas and you're working on your first granny square blanket. That is nice. And Steele is south of Dallas. So, yeah, you're pretty close. Well, at least both is in Texas. So that's cute. And I have Mystical. That's for once a Swede in my chat that I haven't met before. There's a few Swedes that pop in and out occasionally. Lunch break. Well, that is nice. I'm pretty sure that this is a nice place to hang out for lunch. What are you having? Sounds like you are doing what I did earlier today, heavy duty chores. I did, mow the lawn and weed whack and all of that not so fun stuff, but the weather was good. We've had so much rain, so I almost thought it was going to come more rain today, and I was like, now between the rain showers, I better do something about the lawn because I haven't been doing anything about it for probably 2 weeks, and then rain on that. Yeah, it was hard and heavy. Well, salad can be good, but if you're doing heavy duty stuff, you might need more than just a salad. But then you don't want too much if you want to have you don't want the food coma to come if you have more work to do. Yeah, that's not the nicest feeling. Food coma and heavy labor intensive stuff. No, I don't like that. When I have food coma, I just want to hang out on the couch or somewhere else and crochet. Oh, you have some first grown tomatoes of the season. Like, I have 3 tomato plants. They're full of tomatoes, but they're still green. I'm so waiting for them to, get some type of color. I- The bad thing is, I think I did have some mixed colors of the tomatoes. I think one is supposed to be like almost black or like deep, deep, dark red purple. And then I think one was yellow, and then one is just red cherry tomatoes. But I'm not sure if that's actually what I got because you never know exactly. I did buy the plants from the store because I was lazy and didn't put any seeds down in time, so I just had to go and buy some plants to put in a pot. But you know, people could have switched the labels if they are, you know, hopefully don't, but you never know. Mistakes can happen. But I'm hoping that I get some different colored ones. I do see that they are like different size at least, but they're all green, 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 and I don't want that. Yeah, like I'm just hoping that they're gonna start to at least show a little bit of a difference in color, because then I can pick them and take them inside. And so far, I don't really see the point in it because I'm hoping we're gonna get some more sun in the next few weeks, and hopefully that's gonna help it on the way because sun ripened tomatoes are just so delish. So that needs to happen, and I can wait. I'm not in a hurry to get them tomatoes off the plants yet. They're all nice and protected with the big net. The birds are not going to get to my tomatoes this year. I've had that problem before, but then I was like lazy to get nets up to protect them, and this year I didn't. They did steal most of my strawberries though. Damn birds. Well, what can you do? They need to eat too. There's berry bushes of other kinds around where I'm at, so they could have just taken those. Yeah, have done green fried tomatoes. Um, Definitely not the first year I'm growing my own tomatoes, but the amount of tomatoes I get, green fried tomatoes is not what I want to do with all of them. And I'm not sure what, what the tomatoes I'm growing are going to be. So I don't know if does the green fried tomato thing, is it better with any special type? Because as I said, I think I have purple-ish and yellow. Would they work good? Because the other ones should be cherry tomatoes and they feel small. So it doesn't feel like something I would go for straight away for frying. It feels like you should have decent size at least. But it's not something that we typically do in the Swedish cuisine. It's I learned about green fried tomatoes from YouTube, and it's not a very Swedish thing. Yeah, well, those are pretty big, right? The beefy ones are like huge, and I don't have that big of tomatoes yet. I've seen that some of the tomatoes are starting to get a decent size, but they're not that big. I feel like this ball is shrinking fast, which is nice. I just kind of want this over and done with for some reason. This was just supposed to be like a in-between project because I have a lot of stuff that should be finished, but I'm not sure how to finish them. And then I have ideas of other things, and I'm not sure what I'm in the mood for, so I figured I'd just, get something going in between. But it's so easy, kinda. So it feels like this could be done tomorrow or something if I just have the time. I have more weed whacking to do tomorrow, so I'm not gonna crochet all day. Um, but maybe. Yeah, the big ones, like they're chunky, right? Like almost, no, not that big, but like, aren't they pretty? They look weird. Like they have pumpkin-esque vibes to it, how they look. Because that's like what we have here. We have these ones. We call them beef tomatoes, directly translated. And they kind of have like the forms or the ridges like pumpkins, but they are like decent size. Yes. I wouldn't say I'm that good at gardening or anything. I usually kill most of my plants. Um, yeah, not very successful with the strawberries this year. Have had pumpkins and zucchinis and tomatoes usually growing over the summers. Zucchinis, I'm pretty decent at make or like I got some good zucchinis. Um, Made some really nice zucchini bread out of that, but where I grew them, I got like an ant's nest in the all of it, so I just nope, rip it out, try and get rid of the ants, and maybe I'll get back to that another uh, year or like plant it somewhere else. And I only have tomatoes in plant pots this year, not in the actual garden bed. I do have wild strawberries and flowers in the rest of the garden. and weeds, a lot of them, and hedges that needs to be trimmed. Yep. I'm lucky I have some really good neighbors that we share hedges with. They usually keep a little bit of a neater finish on them because I'm not very good at it. I just want to sit here and crochet. I don't have time to deal with that all the time. It's nice to sit out in the sun and crochet and whatnot, but I just want to relax most of the time, even though I know the stuff needs to be done. I keep kind of procrastinate. That's unless I'm crocheting, yeah. Well, while crocheting, I'm procrastinating other things, but yeah. To get to crochet, I have to prioritize. This is what I want to do, so this is what I do. So we have some granny square blankets things going on and some dishcloths. Anyone wants to inspire me on stuff I could do next? I'm not sure what I want to do really. And as you might see, I have a few shawls. I raided my closet and I got everything out of my closet. I have showed some of the shawls in previous lives, but now they're all here. So yeah, you get sneak peeks, and I do have a little bit of a debate with myself whether I should just do like a live show and tell with all my shawls or if I should try and do a video out of it. I'm not sure how long that video would be. Um, so maybe a live show and tell of the shawls would be more reasonable to do. I don't know. Because there's a few. Like you can't even see all of them, but there is a bunch all over there. There's one laying on top of there, and like all these hangers, I don't know how many they are, but it's at least 3 shawls on each hanger. So that is a few. So I don't really need more shawls, but they're fun to make, so I'm definitely gonna make more of them. That's not up for debate. The question is, what should I do? What's the next pattern? What's the next colors? What's the, all of that. Oh, hello, Dawn. How are you? She's prepping, okay? Dawn just got herself monetized and she's having a party, but it's probably going to be too late for me. She's starting the party at 3 a.m. my time. So I'm sorry, but I'm probably not going to be there. Maybe I'm going to be there in the end. We don't know yet. Shawls to give away as Christmas presents. Well, yes and no. I have given shawls to the people I think deserve shawls around me, kinda. And I don't feel like all of the people around me appreciate what I do, so I don't like to give stuff to people that don't appreciate it. And yeah, I don't know if like I had an idea to do like a Christmas market fair thing to try and sell stuff, but I haven't made up my mind yet, and that scares me a lot, like a lot. So we'll see. Um, because I don't want to be selling myself cheap. There's people on Facebook that make shawls and sell them for less than what the material is worth, or like what they spend on the yarn, and that's not me. So they're sitting here being pretty. That's where it's at. Um, Yeah, Dawn, you have some prepping to do. So I do know that you're a busy bee today. But yes, we are celebrating Dawn. That's for sure. Um, she is lucky, kind of, that YouTube at least appreciates some of the content makers. And in at least the US, you need to have 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours to be able to have member only stuff and super chats and super stickers when you know, hang out. And like the rest of us in the rest of the world, we have to do the old fashioned stuff with 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So we're working on it, okay? But we really appreciate that some people do get the perks. Maybe they're going to release it to the rest of us as well, but hopefully by then I will already be monetized and have my 1,000 subscribers, because that would, you know, feel nice, because I'm not going to sit around and wait for Daddy YouTube to decide whether or not they're going to do that. So I'm just going to keep doing my thing and hopefully I'll get there. Yeah, never sell for less than what we're worth. That's for sure. I'm I'm pretty good at keeping track on how much time I spend on what I do, and I do know how long the shawls take me to make and what a reasonable hourly rate would be. So I had an idea that if I do like a some market type of thing, that all my items would be priced for a decent, it's usually a little bit cheaper on a fair um compared to other places. But I had the idea to like put on the price tag that this is like the price, but if I would charge hourly rate, material cost, and all of the stuff, like all the information, how long it took me, so this is what the actual worth would be, just to like inform people, because they don't know. They think stuff is expensive and they have no clue how many hours it takes to make some of this stuff. Like you can see, even though it's like far away, but you can see that there's details in these shawls. Like there's puff stitches and popcorns and they eat yarn. It takes time. We spend a lot of time and we don't get appreciated in the way I think we should. So yeah, I like to inform people. That is for sure. And I'm never going to sell myself short. If I would give people, discounts or um stuff like that, it's not because they're asking for it, because it's, the right person, that it feels like, okay, I can do this or that, or, special reasons, but definitely not every time. And I don't like always do friends and family discounts and whatnot. Nope, not me. I know you don't want your friends to pay you, you want YouTube to pay you, and that's what we all want. But it's nice to be able to spoil you too, because you deserve it. Hello, Dreamy. Welcome. How are you today? 1,200 US dollars for a quilt, like a bedspread for a bed, right? Like that's a decent size quilt at that price. Sounds reasonable. Definitely. I have no idea how long that would take, but quilting is not my thing, so I wouldn't know, but they look intricate, and any craft, you spend time. And something that kind of bothers me, but crafts that females does, or women, is rated lower. Because if you look at it, manly crafts like woodwork and steelwork, they can charge like a lot. They get money for what they're doing. And here there's so many people like, oh, this is just a hobby. Oh, my grandma can do that for cheaper. Well, go to your grandma and let her make it for cheaper. I don't care. That's, if she wants to spend her time making stuff for cheaper, then that's fine. I do know that here, at least in Scandinavia, people are picky and want like all, um, you know, well, not acrylics, natural fibers, and preferably like eco-friendly, um, all of that kind of things. And yeah, you can charge a bit more if you're using more expensive yarns, but acrylics are kind of frowned upon most of the time because it's synthetic and it's not as good. Well, for some things it is better. You can wash it. You can, especially with kids. If you make stuff for kids, you don't want to have that in all wool at all times because it's hard to keep clean. And kid stuff you might have to clean more often than not. Yeah, get it cheaper at the store. Well, yes, definitely they can get cheaper at the store, but this is slow fashion. It's handmade and it's details and it's design, and very often we do think things through when we make it. It's not, we get the yarns that we like, the designs that we like. We put time and effort into that too. And working on our skills, techniques, stitches. There's a lot of things that we don't know that probably not every grandma knows. So even if they're like, oh, my grandma can make this for cheaper. Well, yeah, maybe she can, maybe she can't. Totally depends on what it is. And there's people out here that only does amigurumis and stuffed toys and, all of that. Not really my thing. I have ventured into it more and more. I recently did this with some cute googly eyes. Um, but it's not something I really enjoy making, other than this was a really fun result. And I'm not gonna whip out like 10 of these and have for a fair. No. Um, I did one. I'm not sure he's gonna get a friend ever. I do have more of the eyes, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna make more snails. I should make more other things from the eyes because I did buy 30 and I've gifted some and the kids have stole some. I think I don't have any blue left because the kids took them. Hmm. Yeah, like I like doing shawls. I like more and more to do wearables or easy wearables like hexagon cardigans. I don't really have to think too much about measurements and fit because I want stuff to look, nice. I have done more and more clothes. I don't know what my next step is going to be. Venturing out to like techniques or something. I like to challenge myself, but I don't know where where my next challenge is. I haven't found that yet. I have some, just stuff I need to finish. Most of it is not really challenging. It's just I don't have the motivation for some of them. They just didn't feel fun right now, so they got to be paused. I guess that's what happens when you find the next fun thing and you just want to go at it straight away. Kind of like with the new yarns that I just recorded the haul. I kind of want to dig into that straight away, but I haven't found the patterns yet that I think is perfect. I know what I want to do, but I need to really find a pattern that's going to make it justice. Well, as you can see, my shawls are on the hangers, and most of the shawls are like a couple on the same hanger, and that's normally what I do. I do have a hanger that's, well, now they're all spread out. No, okay, well, I'll grab this one. This one usually, or has been at least, hanging downstairs on my clothes rack in my hall, but I only had this one and this one hanging there, just on like this, because that's the ones I've been using. So they were just hanging like this, folded over in my hallway. I used this a lot when that one was first made. It has 5 points, so it's a little bit different than some of the other ones. And then, well, I like it kind of feels like fall colors to me. And then I switched it out to using this one. So they kind of moved up here since we're doing all the renovation work, and I didn't want to get them all dusty. And I did, like, when I got all the shawls out here, I did sort them. So the shawls on this hanger are either a pattern by a certain designer or inspired by patterns of a certain designer. So I did that with all of these. Like, there's one hanger with, where is it there? With virus shawls. There is one hanger with random Pinterest diagrams that I didn't know what they were going to look like. There is one hanger with the more popcorn puff stitch things. There's one hanger with granny square or granny pattern. So I do have them hanging like this because I feel like this is cute, and I fit more onto one hanger in this way. And this one and this one is actually the same pattern, just different yarns. And these two are kind of inspired by the same pattern. So it's really interesting that you can get like these different, very different effects with different yarns. These are Universe from Hobby, and this is a Sultan Pastello, and I had some leftovers from another Sultan Pastello, same color, so that's why the stripes are in here, because I had the leftovers and I just put them in there. And this is a fancy yarn that I found in my local yarn store. This was like really expensive. I think I got like half off on 2 cakes because they were the last ones. So I got 2 for the price of 1, but I think that they cost like closer to $40 each, regular price. So this is some fancy stuff. I'm liking the colors, but the cake was really small, so the shawl is actually not very big. But I like the fact that I could stretch it with a more holy type of pattern. So yeah, like it's not anything special with how I store them. It's just I didn't have them sorted like I do now. The virus shawl to me is one of the easier ones because I have the pattern kind of memorized, but it takes a little bit of learning. Yeah, like I did kind of hang them over like you would do hanging over your, let's see, did I have an extra one? I do have an extra one. It's easier to show with a virus. Let's get a virus. Because they have a big hole in the center. So instead of having them fall off, this is the center middle, I would put it on there and then fold it over. Then it doesn't slide off because it's secure on top. So that is one way you could do if you have something in the, like some type of hole or stitches where you could squeeze the hanging part of the hanger into. But since this has the big hole in the pattern, it's, easy. Oh, the fall colors screaming at you. That is the fall colors. I like them, but it's not colors I normally wear. So it's really weird that I have been wearing it a lot, but I have been wearing most of my shawls when I have like a black fleece jacket, or so when I have black, anything really looks good. That is it doesn't really matter what colors your shawl is if you have the rest, like black pants and a black jacket. We got some Halloween colors, and we got some red and whites, and we got some green and whites, and they're all viruses, but they look really different because of the colors of the yarn. I'm afraid everything's gonna fall over here because there's shawls hanging on the side here too. You can't see them, but there's a lot going on here. And up there. They're a little bit further away. The Valentine shawl by Bag O' Day is not one I can say I know which one it is, but she has done a couple of shawls, so I don't know all of them. I have, out of her patterns, I've mostly made hats or like beanies because that is something that she likes doing. So she has a bunch of those types of patterns. And yeah, if I'm going to make like a hat or a beanie, I go to her first because she just has that many to pick from. But yeah, I don't think I've done that many other things that's inspired about, like, from her patterns. Oh, I did make a cat sweater once. That was her pattern. Well, kinda. I had to adjust it because different sizes of cats and whatnot, but you know, pretty much the same. Yeah, well, there's a lot of designers that has a lot of nice patterns. We don't have enough hours of the day to crochet as much as we need or want. That is for sure. Those patterns that I showed you there, they are by Tina. Two of them are the Kria, and then one is a Corazza, kinda, and the other one's just inspired by it. But Tina also is the designer behind the blanket that I that I have hidden underneath the layers I have here. This one. This is the queen blanket that I made out of scraps. So she's the queen of mosaics, that's for sure. But she does have a couple of other smaller stuff, like the shawls. I don't know which designer I have made most stuff of. I think Tina. I have the 4 shawls and I have 2 blankets with Tina patterns. But then Hooked on Sunshine, not sure if she has a YouTube channel, but most of the baby blankets I've made has been Hooked on Sunshine patterns. I do have one in the making that kind of is on I don't know. It's not getting anywhere. I should make it or more, but I kind of just lost. There was other things I wanted to do. But I have this so far. So we have popcorns, we have color changes. Can you even see what's going on here? So yeah, this is one of the baby blankets that's typical for me to do. For baby blankets, I have done a really big one. Not this pattern, but the same designer for my daughter. And that one took 4 cakes of these thin cotton yarns. For this baby blanket, I have 2 cakes. I've started with one and I'm working the one from the center and out. And then my plan is to work from the outside in on the next one, so I get the opposite gradient to, yeah. I did one where I color controlled 2 cakes and cut at every color change. And that took too much time, too much effort. I hate sewing in yarn tails, so I'd rather just go for the cakes until they run out, and then I pick up the next one and I just switch the colors around. So either working inside out on the first one, and then next one will be outside in, or the other way around, because it saves me time. I don't have the energy for all the yarn tails. And I wouldn't buy all of these, fancy big cakes for how they look if I didn't like them, you know? So I love them. I don't know. I should finish this. I really should. Maybe I'll get that out in a bit. Well, I need to finish what I'm working on right now. So that pattern is Hooked on Sunshine is the designer, and that would be Doodad, I think. She has a whatchamacallit, which is also very similar, and I like that one. I have a Marnie's Garden that I'm working on that's hidden up there. You can't see it because it's just out of frame. In a big bag. That one's huge. Like if I would to put it up here right now, you would not be able to see me. I could not hold it up with my arms up and you'd be able to see me because that one is big. But they're all hooked on Sunshine. I do have the blanket I made for my daughter out of 4 cakes that I think, yeah, that's in the bedroom, so I can't get that one. Doodad, whatchamacallit, and Marnie's Garden. That's the ones I have made. Oh, I made a Phoenix blanket, baby blanket by her. And I have made the Little Prince Charming. I don't know if she's on YouTube. I know she's on Instagram, I think. But all of her patterns I found on Ravelry. Yeah. And I know she's on Facebook. She has a Facebook group. She has a lot of people in her Facebook group. But I don't know if... I actually have to check. Is she on... She is on Instagram. Yeah. She is there. But I don't think she is on YouTube. Oh, she is on YouTube. She has 8,780 subscribers. Question is, what does she have? Does she have any... She hasn't really uploaded anything in 5 years. So all her new stuff is not there. I take it. She has a couple of squares. Yeah, unfortunately she doesn't have a lot there, but she does have a crochet along. I don't know exactly what it is, but she has some stuff there. An old crochet along could be fun to, try out. Even though the crochet along is not, going right now, it could still be a fun pattern to try out. Whatever it is, have to look into that later. Yeah, well, she is on Ravelry. Like that's where I buy all my patterns, or like all my paid for patterns I've bought there. I do have a bunch of Hobby patterns that as a Hobby Plus member, you get to pick from the Hobby Plus patterns. So I do have a lot of the Hobby Plus patterns, but I didn't pay for them because that's the perk of being a, I guess, member. But yeah, all the paid patterns I have indulged in so far is on Ravelry because it feels like the easiest place to buy patterns, and you keep them all there nice and neatly stored in the same space, or all at once. But I have a hard time deciding on like what is my thing. I do a lot of blankets, I do a lot of shawls. Is that what I only want to do? I don't know. Amigurumi, is that my thing? I don't know. I have more and more realized that I like these types of fluffy yarns because I recently got a hold of that. Well, I did get this from the Hobie Point store. This honey bunny candy that has these fun little specks of color in it. So now when I ordered, where did it go? I ventured into the Point store again and got the same one in black. Because I have a little girl, of course I go for the pink, but I also have a boy and he got jealous and he thought the black one was cute. Or cool, I should say. He's 12, so 12-year-old boys don't think stuff is cute. He thought this was nice. I just don't know what I'm going to make for him because I did this one and pink eggs. And I don't know if a black egg is what I should do. Yeah, and this headband thing, like it's a hard plastic underneath. I did get that at Hobby too. I got a pack of 3, so I still have 2 more, so I can pimp them out. And I've been really liking to wear these on live streams, because it feels like it's something I have for myself. People might remember me by this when I'm on other people's places, hanging out in live streams on panels and whatnot. I have something special that's just me, and if I keep wearing this, uh, it's kind of my thing now. But maybe I should do more colors, or should I just stay with the pink? I don't know. I typically wouldn't say I'm a pink girl. I like purple and green, or the combination. But I do very often tend to wear black because it's just convenient. It's easy to mix and match if most is black. And then you can just throw on any type of colorful shawl into the mix, and everything is just a lot prettier with very little effort. Nightbot is telling us to hydrate, so yes, we should. I've been thinking about making hair accessories, other types like these. Or maybe they're more ear warmers for the winter. But I don't know. I haven't ventured into that stuff yet. I have made hats. I have made fingerless gloves. I should make more because I I like them, but I just haven't made any really for myself. I have a pair that I made in my size, kinda, with reflective yarn that has like a little bit of a reflective string running through it. But I didn't have very much of the yarn, so they are not very long, and I like it when it goes up a little bit, so you're sure it's not going to be any like draft sneaking in between the jacket and in between. So if I'm going to make another one, it needs to be longer. Maybe fancier too. I don't know how fancy I should go, but I have seen really pretty ones with like a dragon scale. I don't have. Do I have a yarn that would look good for that? I'm thinking sparkly yarn, like these universe yarns. Sparkly and dragon scale. Isn't that like really cute? I have seen so many of those. I'm not sure they would be warm, but they would definitely be warmer than having nothing. And that would be good for fall. Definitely not for winter, but there's a period where you could wear them. I really have to think about that. Ball band, stay away. You're messing with my yarn. I've been talking a lot. Thirsty. Yes, I also have water. Not just bubbly stuff. Even though I like my bubbly stuff, water tends to be a little bit more hydrating. And yes, I love to talk, so that's not a problem. This one's kind of starting to get big and warm my lap a bit more than I expected. It's starting to get really warm. It's not as warming as wool, like sheep's wool, but it's definitely gonna be warm enough. If I do stuff in sheep's wool, I would probably be too warm instead. So, do you have any fun plans for the rest of the day? My day is kind of getting closer to an end here. Well, at least today is because we're at 11:49 p.m. So, yeah, it's definitely not very many minutes left of this day. Tomorrow I'll be weed whacking, entertaining kids. What else? Do I have any other plans? Dealing with laundry because that needs to be done. What else? There's always some cooking and some cleaning that needs to be done. But that's like every day. Maybe I will get some crocheting done. Well, I know I'll be crocheting tomorrow evening. Like after dinner, it's just, hang out and crochet. But maybe there's time during the day too. Or in the morning. Get up, get myself a good cup of coffee, wake up slowly with some crochet and recap of the YouTube stuff that's been happening while I was sleeping. So tomorrow morning, that will be Dawn's party because she is celebrating getting monetized. So she's gonna have a little party at 3 a.m. my time, and I'll be sleeping at that point. But maybe I'll be there for the end of the party. If I wake up early enough, that is gonna be my wake up company. Dawn Yarn Doll and crochet and coffee. It sounds like a good plan to me. Maybe I should set an alarm clock to make that happen. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. It's either that or just watching the replay. But I do believe she's going to have giveaways and stuff. Because she is prepping a lot to get everything sorted before the live. And she whispered in my ear that she had at least some stuff planned. But maybe there's more. Starting to get a little bit tangled in the last piece of this yarn ball, but it's definitely not too bad. It's kind of to be expected at some point that the yarn is going to be messing. Well, hello, Your Highness. How are you today? The Queen is in the house. Hope you're having a nice day. Is the weather good? I've had a decent day today. It's been mostly cloudy. Sun's been showing itself between the clouds, but we've had so much rain the past few weeks. I really had to mow the lawn today because it was terrible. Hopefully we're gonna have some better weather coming. This summer just rained away in Sweden, but it's pretty common in Sweden for us to have rain. But not like this. Way more than normal. Yeah, a little bit of a tangle. It's fine. So what are you doing today, Your Highness? Are you crocheting away or are you doing something else? Maybe you're doing an inventory list of your pretty wigs, or is that already something you have? So you're on the other spectrum, side of the spectrum. I've had rain, 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 and you had too hot, and now it's better. I'm kind of jealous. I wouldn't mind a little bit too hot now. After all this rain, I could do too hot for a week or so. I'd be happy. Yeah, we had such bad storms, lightning, power outages. there's been worse, like floods and stuff, more inland, not where I'm at. So we only had lightning and kind of heavy rain for a bit. But there's been like flash floods and just crazy stuff. Especially when all the, like, more inland, there's more mountainy, so all the rain's coming off the mountain and just causing chaos downstream in the rivers and whatnot. So how many wigs have you used during your lives now? I I have seen a blue and a turquoise. Have I missed any lives that you've had? Did I miss any wigs? Because you have some cute combinations of wigs and hats. Really like planning your outfit. Very detailed. Yep. It's gonna be interesting to see what you come up with next. Are you gonna keep this up? You might have to buy new wigs at some point. You said you're gonna do like one wig each live, and if you go, what, live once a week for 30 weeks, you gonna buy more wigs after that? Or are you just gonna style them differently, maybe? And how are you gonna keep up with knowing which ones you've used and which one you haven't during the lives? Do you have like spreadsheets? Oh, silly me. I could do like this. Why haven't I done that yet? I have this one. So yes, the yarn love, if you want to drop your comment or your link. You have a lot of amigurumis. I'm curious to see because you haven't showed that. I've seen the blanket that's hanging behind you on your chair during your lives. Have you showed me any of the amigurumis? Oh, so you're going to get more wigs so that you can continue with the one wig every live. That's cute. That is. It kind of feels like you are really liking your wigs. So buying more wigs is probably not something that, you know, it's something you have to think about twice. It's like buying yarn. What color? What style? Soft? Oh, this is a name I haven't seen before, and sorry if I butchered this. I'm gonna really try and see if I can pronounce this. Oh, wow. Co-whooper looper seat hooper? I sorry. Hello and welcome. But that's a long tongue twister. Yeah. Well, you should make a spreadsheet for your wigs so that you know which ones you've used and not. So you do you like yarn hauls and wig hauls. Like for future lives, I'm gonna be using this and this and this. And to my collection, I'm adding this one, which is a long one, and a short one, and a green one, and a pink one, and a multicolored one. Do you have a rainbow one? I'm sure you have a rainbow one. Or at least a multicolored one. Ombre, I'm guessing, has been easy to find in wigs. Well, you have a great day. And I hope to see you back here soon. Or in another live chat, because I hang out in other people's live chats too. And I do see a lot of you guys there too. I think most of the friends I've made on YouTube I found in other places, and I'm happy that you found to my little corner of the YouTube world too. It's nice to have new friends to talk yarn with because I don't have any, well, not a lot of people that I can talk yarn to. When I started my YouTube channel, I did not have anyone at all to talk yarn with, like in real life. But I do have a few, like I had an old coworker that just popped up in my Facebook feed that she started crocheting because she got like burned out and she started crocheting. So I reconnected with her, and then she had like a childhood friend that wanted to start crocheting. So we taught her. So now she's a little bit of part of it too. And then like yeah, it's like, is it 2 times a month? The church here in town has a little bit of a gathering for knitters and crocheters. And I kind of went there for like I haven't been, well, I started to go there and more regularly, and I found another one there and I've been hanging out with her. So like that's the 3 people I have in my life that is, in my, I wouldn't say the close because my coworker is living an hour away, and her friend, we haven't actually met. We've only had, when any one of us have been buying yarn, we've done a little haul thing over um, Messenger. So kind of like when I do a haul video, but it's like a live haul with us. And it's nice to have something more. But yeah, that's the limited yarn hangout I have in my life besides YouTube. And YouTube came first. So yeah, I kind of really enjoy hanging out here. Oh, Dawn is lurking. Yes. Oh, you were a rainbow one in your first live. I have to go back and check that because the first live I saw you in, you had turquoise and then you had a blue. So yes, I have to check that out. So I was right. You had a rainbow wig. Yes. Yeah, Dawn is prepping for a stream later tonight to celebrate her monetization. YouTube partner. Yes. Well, hello, Sonia West. How are you? Nice to see you. I don't recognize your name, so I believe this is the first time you are stopping by my little crochet corner here, but we might have crossed paths somewhere. I don't know. I'm happy to have you here. It's nice to see more people to get to know, hang out with. What are you crocheting? What are you, what's in your cup? What's in your belly? All of them other fun stuff. Nightbot is telling us to hydrate, which I don't really need Nightbot to tell me because it feels like I'm drinking quite a lot today. Because why am I thirsty? My mouth is dry today. I'm usually not having these types of, I wouldn't say issues, but more than usual. So, Dawn, how's prepping going? Prepping for the big party. I know she's probably busy and just kind of lurking. So, and that is fine. I appreciate every one of you. Whether you're lurking or talking in chat is all fine. Because I need some more watch hours if I'm gonna ever get to the point where I can get some monetization. But yeah, it's far, far away. I am in Sweden and we don't have the option to get the monetization light. So yeah, I have to work my way up to my 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And at this rate, I'm probably gonna get the subscribers before I get the watch hours. Thank you. This headband is hard plastic that I got from Hobie, and this is made in the Hobie yarn Honey Bunny Candy. I have the same yarn here in black. You can see that there's some colors in there. This is what the yarn looks like. It has like this fluffy type of yarn with a little bit of a extra thing going with the colors. And yeah, just crocheted around the headband. I did put some hot glue dots just to not have it slide off. And I made the flower and I did sew it first and then I put some glue dots as well so that it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay there. I have 3 more of the plastic headbands, so I could do more in different colors. Haven't decided yet. But it was pretty easy to do it. Like it was tricky to crochet around this because it's big and not flexible. It's easier to like make scrunchies when you go around a headband that's or like a rubber band, because these are like flexible. So that's a lot easier to crochet around than hard plastic because it's kind of wide. So I did actually do it once and I did make a little bit of a video on that where I used the yarn for the first time, but I did rip it all off and I did it again to get the stitches more nice and neat. But it was definitely a fun thing to do. Oh, and I do have something else I have done in the yarn actually. I made an egg. So here you can see the colors popping through, what it looks like. So I did 2 eggs and I made the headband and I got so inspired because I haven't like before or until then I had not tried that type of yarn. But I now have a bunch more of it in different colors. I found these at my local dollar store because we have a dollar store in Sweden. So I did get 4 balls of their yarn, 2 pinks, 1 beige brown, and purple. And I did show a sneak peek of my latest haul, and I can show it again. It does have sparkles. It's not really picking up very good on with the lighting I have right now in this camera, but the other camera where I did the haul video does pick up on the sparkles a lot better. But you can see that there's shine and sparkle in here. And it's definitely showing a lot more on this dark yarn compared to some of the other ones because there's more. I did get more of these, not just this dark one. But this one does a really good job at actually showing the sparkles compared to the lighter ones. DG, is that like Dollar General, I think? I'm not very familiar with all the different stores out there. I am in Sweden. We do have a dollar store that actually, I don't know if it's a common thing, but it's dollar, and then instead of the S, it's a dollar sign, and then Tor. But we have that, and we have Rusta, which is fairly a cheap place to go. That's where I got the yarn I'm currently using. They have a better selection of yarn than the dollar store, and I did actually go to both of them and kind of did a little sneaky filming section of what they have. So there's going to be shorts coming with the yarns that they have, or at least some of it. You get a little bit of a sneak peek of what the local stores around my area looks like in the coming weeks. Yeah, I'm not going to throw out all the shorts at once. So I did schedule them to get up a little bit spread out over the coming weeks in case you want to see a little bit of what yarn shopping in Sweden looks like. But yeah, the yarn I'm working with now, I have 3 of the yarns, or 3 colors here, and then I have a 4th color that I'm going to add to it as soon as I'm finished with this little bit. We got this color too. And this is recycled acrylic. So it's not the softest acrylic, but it does have kind of a tweedy thing going, especially in the lighter gray here. You can see color specks in basically a lot of colors. There's yellows and pinks and blues and greens, and not as many in the other ones, but I have seen like here you see in the darker, there's a pink spot there just randomly. There's a little bit of red ones in here. So yeah, these are more plain, or like not as visible that there's stuff going on here. You can see a red flake. But yeah, the later one has a lot more fun stuff. But when you really look at it, there's colors in here. And I'm making I don't know what you would call it. Would it be a shrug maybe? It's an infinity style type shawl wrap something. Let's see, straighten out a little bit. It will be kind of like a bow in the front where it's folding over itself. So I just work continuous rounds, and then the back is just kind of plain. So I will have it up a little bit over my shoulders and then crossed above my chest, and my arms hanging out down there. So maybe poncho-esque. I don't know what you would call it. If I move this out of the way, you can see a little bit better down at the bottom. Yeah, so a little bit of an extra pop with this brighter reddish color to finish it off. So that's what I'm working on today. Now I don't know where I was. Here. I was here. And soon I get to change color. You're gonna wash the kids? Yeah, that's always fun. I did that earlier today. My little one made a total mess with an orange, so I threw her in the shower. And then we were out, and she went to the playground and rolled around in everything, dirt. So she got another another trip to the bathtub this time. I only threw her in the shower. But yeah, sometimes you have to do it more than once a day. It happens. And sometimes you have to throw yourself a couple of times in the shower too, especially when it's hot, to cool yourself down. That's always nice. It always feels good to do that. I kind of just wish that the summer here would have a little bit more of them days where you feel like you need to do that, because please, I'm tired of the rain. Give me some better weather now. Speaking of, can we see if Nightbot can tell me the weather? What's my weather like right now? Could I spell it correctly? Let's see. Partly cloudy. Humidity 91%. So it is past midnight. It's a quarter past midnight here. So I expect the weather to be cooler since the sun has been gone for a while. 15 is definitely nice. I'm for sure gonna open all the windows and get some cross draft before I go to bed because it's hotter inside. Yeah, I could cool down a little bit, especially here in the office. Like I have computers running and it's always warmer in here. But I want the nice warm weather to be outside, not indoors. I'm just looking forward to switching colors here soon. I see the end is coming. I'm kind of not sure if this is going to be a decent size. Should I have had another yarn ball to add to it? I don't know. I have these four, and that's what I have, and that's what it is. And if I would get another one, it's the same colors I'd have to pick from. I don't have any other color options in this of this brand. That's the colors they had. So would I go for the same color or a different one, or like the same as the last one? I don't know. Nah, I think this is going to be a pretty decent size. It should be. Adding this much to it more, I think. Yeah, that's probably what it be. I never really know how stuff is going to be until I finish them. And at that point, I sometimes feel like, nope, this is not my thing, and they end up in a bag, never to be seen again. I do have one of those bags. There is things that just, I don't know what's in there anymore. I don't know if they're ever going to come out of there either. My trial and error. But I learned something from everything in there. It could be that certain types of yarn don't look good with certain types of stitches or certain sizes of hooks or for certain things whatsoever. There could be sizing issues that it turned out way too small because I didn't know better. because my gauge or tension is not the same as other people. Most of the time I say I'm a loose hooker, but for certain projects I do firm up my tension because sometimes it's needed. Most of the time in that case, though, I would downsize hook more often than actually, you know, more tension or tighter. Because it's actually easier to keep consistent tension and just alter your hook size. Or at least that's how I feel. It works good for me. Start in here. I'm kind of happy that I put my hair up in a ponytail because if I had it down, it'd be too warm by now. Yep. Oh, and I did get, I don't know if it was because I was, putting all the effort into mowing the lawn and weed whacking and whatnot, but I did get a box of chocolate today, which I'm really happy about. But I don't think it's a really cute look to sit here and munch on chocolate and get my mouth all full of chocolate because, yeah, that's not really cute. So I'm just recklessly eyeballing the box of chocolates occasionally. It's not the biggest box, but they're minty chocolates. And they're like in these papers. So you could easily get one out and put, next to a cup of coffee if you have like fancy dinner party thing. Like at restaurants, you get one piece of chocolate. I like them. And they really smell minty. So, yes, minty chocolates are some of my favorite treats. So I know I'm going to dig into that when I feel like it's time to, wrap this up, which is not yet, not in the closest. Um, you know, I want to just hang out here for a bit more. I'm not ready for bed. I probably should, and the risk is that I would stick around here and hang out too long and then realize it's 3 a.m. and I might just go hang out with Dawn, even though I said I shouldn't because I need to go to bed. uh, yeah, that might actually happen. I might get to regret that afterwards because I have to get up really early during the coming week because school starts. And there's just some adjustments to that. Early mornings, getting kids out of bed in time and all of that, which has not been anything we've done for a bit. Okay, I know these ones are terrible. This is yarn barf coming. Yes. It's not too bad. But yeah, none of these ones were really easy to get out. But when I get yarn barf, I untangle it straight away. And then after that, it's going to be a lot easier. So just working my way backwards and making a nice little pile that I can work from here on my desk. So how tangled is it? We need to get that one out. Am I making a knot here? Don't want to tighten that up. Yes. There we go. I finally got to get into the last color. That is always nice. And I am kind of lazy with sewing in yarn tails. I don't like that, so I like to do a little bit of a knot and then I work over the tails. Because why not? I can, I will. So I'm actually only going to work over one of the yarn tails on this pass. The yarn that I've been working with, the color I've been working with here, I'm going to hide that tail now, and then when I come around for the next round, I'm going to take the other yarn tail. Because if I were to take both of them, the stitches might be a little bit chunkier, or at least more noticeable that I hid the tail. So if I hide them in 2 passes, only works good when you work in the round like this. Well, you work it back and forth, you can hide it on the other side, but this one's going to end up just above here. But yeah, less noticeable when there's only one strand of yarn being worked in. And also this is the same color, so it's not going to be noticeable in there, and this one's going to come on top of here. It would probably show a little bit more if I would to take the wrong color, that this would be hidden in the next row, the previous color. But yeah, it's all good. It's just gonna give me a little bit of a piece of yarn to cut off at the end. Well, hello there, Sprue. You're up late. How are you today? Have you been building more of your... Is Wally done yet? I haven't seen how far you've gotten on building the little cute Wally in Lego. I've been busy. Well, I'm not always busy, but... Well, thank you. Thank you very much. So it's time for bed? Wally is finished. Yay! Wally is cute. Oh, and wait. Sprue is here, so Sprue likes a friend of mine. Baby shark, do 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 do. I did build some Lego. Yes, Sprue has seen this one more than once. But he also likes to sing Baby Shark when he's streaming. Not everyone is really liking that anymore, but yeah. Yep, Baby Shark. Just for you. It's living on my desk. Unlike all the other things I make, it didn't get to leave there. The snail has been off and on the desk because the kids steal it occasionally, but it ends up back here. Yeah, and the one egg is on my desk. The other egg is missing. It's somewhere. But the kids tend to claim my stuff. But they don't get the shark. Sharky stays on my desk. And every time Sprue is around, Baby Shark comes out. And he starts singing. So I'm guessing he's singing loudly while he's watching right now. I can almost hear his voice in my head as he sings Baby Shark. That's how much I've heard it. Well, I haven't stuffed anything as of, no, not since I made this snail. I haven't done anything that I could stuff. But I did get more fluffy yarn. And I actually did, not yet. I haven't, I didn't get any cakes yet, but I did receive some more of the fluffy yarns. Can you see that it has sparkles? There's little tiny sparkles in this. So I did get some other fancy stuff, but no. The cakes, I have been looking at them. But at the moment, this ended up here. And I need to do something about that first. This was on the way when we talked about the cakes. Prue has been very generous, and he donated, and he inspired other people to do the same. Yes, because Sprue liked, I don't know if how much you've seen, but it's to the point where I have to put straps on it, on mine. This is the cake I was working on last time I talked to Sprue, and I have tangled myself into something. I don't know, it's a mess. I'll sort it out. But this is what we have going. So I need to put some straps on this. It's a top, and this is, above my chest area, and this is the rest. But how tangled did I manage to get? It's stuck on something. Phone charger cords and whatnot. Yeah, so like this. And yeah, straps needs to be added. But I'm really liking these colors, and I'm thinking about if I should do something at the bottom. It's cute. It's really colorful, and yeah, it's making me happy. This is a Black Friday limited edition colorway of the cakes, but it kind of feels Halloweeny to me. This is more Halloweeny than some of the Halloween cakes. Why did they put Black Friday on it? I don't know. Oh yeah, Dawn, share some links. People can. I moved it away again. I have that one. So the Yarn Love is to drop your link. Yes. And all the other stuff is, you might get Nightbot to respond to it, but he doesn't always listen. No, she put the Crochet Queens link down. Dawn, drop yours, please. Either you drop it yourself or make Nightbot do it. Dawn knows how to work the magic with these links, so. Dawn is having a party at 3 a.m. my time. She got monetized, and she can have super stickers and super chats now, the monetization light. And we're really happy for that. Because if anyone earned it, she is the one. She's been working hard on both subscribers and the watch hours. A true inspiration to a lot of us here. I don't think I would have been this determined to actually get more watch hours so that I might be able to get monetized someday. Yeah, Dawn is just going through chat and picking up everything that she missed out on. She's been lurking and preparing for her own stream in a few hours. Well, nice to see you, Sprue. you sweet dreams, and I see you soon again. Monday, most likely, at your place, right? Because Mondays are Sprue's live streams. He's usually keeping me company when I have lunch. Yes. No, you don't need the exclamation thingy. Just yarn love. I didn't use the other thing. Hopefully Dawn's going to get to the point where she's going to drop her own link soon. Yes. Lunchtime. And I usually have late lunches, so that's my lunch company. It's really nice to have something to look at while munching on some foods. It's really fun to see. Dawn has been running around doing stuff, and now she has time to sit down and look at chat, and everything's just like pop, pop, pop. Sending links, sending hellos, and yeah, you're really working it. Probably one of the most hardworking YouTubers around. Hanging out, being a really good friend. Sometimes forget to take care of herself, but we support each other and remember to self-care. Yes. Just as we remember to hydrate, and sometimes we get Nightbot to remind us to hydrate. But that's all good. Night night, Sprue. So how's your prepping going, Dawn? Do you have a lot of things to do still? Or are you busy hanging out with as many people as you can right now? I'm guessing I'm not the only one that's live right now, but that's fine. I'm just sitting here hanging out with those who wants to hang out, and that is perfectly fine for me. I just appreciate the ones that does take time to come and hang out with me for a bit. It's really nice. I've met so many new people here, especially the last few weeks. Seeing a totally new side of YouTube, hanging out with, more hanging out with live streams and actually venturing out to do more of them myself. And to not hide behind the camera like I did before. And most people probably only recognize my hands until very recently. But now I think my signature feature is the bow. Or like the flower. The puffy flower. Yes. I need to make me some more of these. I'm pretty sure I will. Some relaxing crocheting. That's just what I needed. How long have I been here? I've been here for 2 hours. 2 hours and not even a minute, half a minute. Wow. Didn't even realize, and I was on 2 hours on the clock. That was timing if I've ever seen it. Now I'm seeing that there's a little bit of a yarn hanging out there. I got the yarn end from the outside going straight through. I don't need that one to tangle up with me. That is unnecessary risks of tangle. I have noticed that that is pretty common in some of the yarn balls from Rusta that they tuck in the outer tail on the inside. I guess it could be handy for some people. Less mess when they're, in the store. Everything is neatly tucked in, maybe, to not get a mess in all the boxes and, shelves. But I don't feel like these yarns are especially messy when I get them. There are some other yarns that really looks messy from the get-go. Like these ones. They just don't want to be cute. Not very often. I'm probably going to give it a little bit longer before I go to bed, but I've really appreciated everyone hanging out with me tonight. I'm not stressing to go to bed, but I'm looking at what time it is, and it's like, probably should think about bed soon-ish. Well, hello there. Oh, this is a tricky one to pronounce. Shantirement? Shantirement? Hello, hello. Welcome. How are you today? Hope you're having a great day. So I managed to pronounce it somewhat right. Yay for me. It looked tricky. Maybe it was. I don't know. Like, it kind of tells me that Shan-ish something is maybe your name or nickname, but the tirement, it makes me think of retirement. I don't know. Well, Shan is a little bit easier to pronounce. So, yeah, that's making things easier. So what are you doing? Are you a fellow crocheter or you do something else? You never know who ends up here on my little YouTube corner here. I crochet most of the time, but I do have a lot of other fellow crafters hanging out here, and I hang out with other crafters, so you never know if we're talking fibers or building stuff with bricks. Oh, okay, so that makes sense, the name. So I was kind of right in a lot of ways. Well, you are welcome to stop by. Oh, Molly. Yes, my channel is full of a lot of things. Yarns, crochets, and yes. I think most of the videos, if I would to count them all, I think yarn hauls is probably what you would find most of in my little corner because I like it. I like yarn. And I'm very good at showing off the yarn that I get, but I've been realizing that I'm terrible to show off what I made. For some reason, I just make, and I don't take the time to sit down and record very much as I make it or when it's finished. That's why I kind of realized that lives is pretty good because then I can work on stuff and people get to see a little bit when I work on it and also ask about the stuff I've made because as you can see, I kind of like doing shawls. All of this and all of this is shawls. And some there as well. And there's other things over there. And this is a shawl. Yeah, I'm just all over the place. But I'm sometimes when I sit down to record, like, what have I done? I don't remember what I recorded the last time. So I do miss out on showing you guys what I make because yeah, my memory's not all that great. And unfortunately, it kind of often feels like taking the time to sit down and record. Well, it's not very easy with kids running around, and I don't want the background noise. Now they're sleeping, so that's all good. But it takes away from my crochet time. And live streams is a combination of doing what I want as well as hanging out with friends. So this is a pretty new concept to me, but I'm very much enjoying it. A lot more than sitting down and recording videos. Yes. Um, but it is nice to hang out like this because I can interact with you guys. I can talk to you and you can ask questions straight away, not just maybe like asking a question on a video and then that might happen while it's day on the other side of the planet and I'm sleeping and my response is a couple of hours later because I was sleeping. I don't like that. I like this more direct thing going on here. Yes. So I wish I could do this more often, but it's not every night that the kids are sleeping and there's no noise in the office here like it is today. But that's only because my better half is painting the living room walls right now because we've been renovating, and now it's paint. And he didn't want to do that while the kids was running around, and I totally understand that. So he's painting, I'm crocheting, and I'm hanging out with people. I think I got the better end of this deal. But I did mow the lawn, and I did whack weed, and I did do stuff outdoors today, so it's not like I haven't been contributing. Uh, I just did other things. And painting and watching paint dry, I have better things to do, like crocheting. Yeah, a lot more fun. Did I just. Yes. I talked too much. I get to frog. How far back do I get to frog? To like there? Because. because I'm enjoying this too much. Let's see. Is this a better way? Like there. Yes. I came to the point where I was supposed to switch from my half doubles to make these holy ones, double crochet chain one, and I kind of did a few extra stitches. Well, at least I realized before I had done an extra row or three. Yeah. Counting stitches is not something I do very often. Well, if there's an intricate pattern, of course, I do count if I need to, but I prefer not to. And, sitting here counting stitches, nah, I'd rather just talk and hang out. And that's also why I had to frog now, because I didn't pay attention. It's all good though. It's all good. So I see more lurkers. I love it. Feel free to lurk, but if you haven't said hi, then you maybe could say hi or give me a thumbs up because I know you want to. No, I'm just kidding. Feel free to do whatever you want. If you want to talk, you are more than welcome to do so. But I do appreciate lurkers as well. And in about 2 hours and a little more, it's closing into 1 a.m. my time, but at 3 a.m. my time, Dawn Yarn Doll is going to have a monetization celebration live stream, which is going to be lots of fun. I heard whispers about giveaways. I've had the opportunity to help her pep talk about it, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. And unfortunately, I'm going to be sleeping because I really need to go to bed. Maybe I'll be able to get in there in the end of her stream and celebrate a little bit with her. But she's been working it hard, and she has she's deserving of everything she's getting. So I know she doesn't like really the concept that YouTube has with not letting everyone get the AdSense revenue, because she wants YouTube to pay her, not her friends to pay her, and I totally understand that. It's just a stepping stone, and the next step is getting YouTube to pay her. But not to brag, or maybe to brag, I did give her her first super chat. I'm happy I got the opportunity to do so. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun to see her get so happy. Tears of joy doesn't happen with everyone every day. You get those rare occasions where you get so happy you cry. And that's usually really good moments to celebrate. So let's stop and celebrate. Oh, it's really warming here. It's so much nicer outside. It's kind of to the point where I would contemplate sleeping outside, but at the same time, no, because there's mosquitoes and I would get eaten like crazy. And I don't want that. And it kind of feels like I'm sitting here with a blanket on my lap because this is really thick and cozy. Let's hide that one for now. And you can get a little bit of better look. Now the last color is coming in here. So we got the grays with the rainbow flecks in it, and then we got a darker gray, a brownish color, and then now the red. And there's no pattern, I'm just winging it with, yeah, that's something I tend to do on occasion. Not all the time I wing it. Usually I can, just go on Pinterest or something and find a random diagram pattern to make myself like a shawl, like these ones. But I just figured why not try something different. And I have done another infinity scarf before, and I did that with granny stitches. And it's been a while since I did something with half double crochets. So I felt like I wanted to do half doubles for a bit, and to not get it totally boring. Well, the colors themselves are, there's stuff happening with the colors. So I could have just done it plainly, but adding this little space, the small holes, felt like I would get a little bit more width on it before I run out of yarn, because I didn't want to have it too narrow. And this feels like I would, get a little bit more. Not a lot, but a little bit more. It just felt like a cute extra thing. Not sure how I'm going to end this. Maybe I'm going to be able to end it on another row of these holy stuff. Let's see. If we're guessing here, which I often do, I'm going to hold it up again. I did 4 rows, and then I did the holy part. And then I got about 3 rows more before I got to the next row. Then I have 2 rows and the holy part, and then 4 rows, and then we have 1 row holes, 5 rows, and then this one. So technically, maybe I'm gonna get these and 5 rows and another like this, and that's the end of it. Maybe. Or maybe I do half doubles just all the way to the end until I run out of yarn. I have a mosquito bite here from being out in the garden. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how I get to finish this, how much yarn I have left at the end. If this is the last of the double crochet rounds or not. Or do I do 4 rounds? Yeah, 4 rounds of half doubles and then double and chain spaces and maybe another half, or maybe I'll do single crochets. Oh, me and Yarn Chicken is not best friends. I'm terrible at Yarn Chicken. there's so many times that I've just chickened out, and afterwards I realized that, hey, I won't, like, I won the yarn chicken round, but yarn chicken won over me because I chickened out. That's, I literally, that shawl, you can see a little bit of a rainbow going on. I totally chickened out, and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to make it. I didn't do anything for weeks because the last round was like, no, I'm not gonna have enough yarn. And guess what? I have enough yarn. Oh, and then some. Like, literally, I have all this yarn left. I could probably do another round with this, but I had no idea. Okay, now it's all tangled, but I really could have made more than what I did, which is so silly of me. But it took me weeks to even get to the point where, like, okay, I'm gonna try and make this round, and if it doesn't work, gonna have to rip it, and I have to figure out something else to do with it. But it took me a long time to get to that point because I am the chicken. I chickened out. Yep, that is, it's totally so me. But it has to do with me not liking to frog, and I don't want to like frog it all. If I put like half an hour into making one round of something, I don't want to have to rip all of that out and be like, no, let's do something else. I'd rather just, do that something else. If I know that's gonna be enough in the first place. And I have seriously done the same thing before, where I was like, oh, I'm gonna play around with yarn chicken. Goes a whole round of a blanket border. Yeah, okay. I have enough for maybe another round, and then another round. And I was so sure, like, okay, well, now I'm at the point where I'm doing yarn chicken. And I think like 5 rounds later, it's like, yeah, I'm terrible. I'm terrible at knowing when yarn chicken is, you know, when I can say I started compared to when it's actually, close to actually being a yarn chicken round. Because, yeah, I'm the chicken. I am this chicken. Very much so. So I'm not really liking this way of hiding the yarn on this round. I crocheted over the tail, but since this round is not like, yeah, there's holes, I do see the yarn strand in here. So I will be weaving that one in a little bit just to make sure that it's secure, because if I get it snatched, like here, I can snatch it here and then it's just gonna pull out. So that one needs more of a secure closing thingy. Okay, it's 4 minutes past 1 at night, and yeah, I need to go to bed. So I should say thanks everyone for hanging out with me, crocheting or not, coffee or not, just hanging out and chilling. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night or wherever you're at, what time it is, if you're watching the replay or if you just ended up sleep lurking, because that's a thing. We have figured that out. We can lurk and fall asleep and just keep spreading the watch hours and support the our favorite creators like that with watch hours. Rudy Iretha with autism, Nightbot type 13 and 7. What does that mean? I don't know, but hello, Rudy. But yeah, so I'm going to go to bed, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day. Tomorrow I'll be going at it the weed whacker again. How many stripes in the USA flag? I honestly couldn't tell you because I'm from Sweden and the American flag is not something I am well acquainted with. I know kind of how it looks like, but that's about it. So yeah, thank you very, very much. Bye bye for now.